Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to clean off my camera here. Woo! Now I'm bright and shiny and exciting, and it's Wednesday, and it's November 29th, and I'm super excited because this is one of my favorite weeks of the year because Friday is Christmas decorating day. Woot, woot, woot! Which brings me the most joyous thing in the land. So Santa and I, we're dancing. We're dancing because Friday's Christmas decorating day. So I actually want to start today's Tea with Tamara with a little story. And I might not get the story exactly right, which is fine, because it's the premise of the story that's super, super important. And I'm going to tell it the way that I remember it, because that's how I roll most days. So once upon a time, there was a gentleman. Good morning, Joanne. And this gentleman, and this is way back in time, had heard about the gold rush, right? And so he set off and he told his family, we're going to leave everything, our house, our home, all our friends, and we're going to go to the gold rush because we're going to make loads of money and all our problems will be solved because of the fact that there's so much gold in this area. So he packs up his family, they into the caravan, off they go. His family eventually, because he keeps digging and digging and digging, never finding gold, his family ends up leaving him, and he has this like mindset, no, it's here, I just have to keep going, I just have to keep going. His kids go, he loses everything in the search for this magical gold. Now, he sells off his farm, at this point he has nothing to keep for any other reason other than finding the gold. He gets the equipment, he does everything, and he keeps digging. And one day, he sits up and he looks around and he goes, I can't believe I've given up everything. My family, my kids, my house, my everything in this wild, crazy dream to get to the gold. And he just leaves. He leaves his equipment, he leaves everything, he taps out. He says, I'm done. But what he doesn't realize is where his digging equipment was. If he had just done one more scoop into the earth, he would have found a shit ton of gold. And the reason I want to start with this story is because my story is about poop. And if that's uncomfortable, I'm sorry, you don't have to necessarily stay for the rest of this. But I was really uncomfortable for the last 5 years. Uncomfortable to a place where I had inflammation and things like that. And last week, I wanted to give up. And I wanted to give up on a lot of things. So, which we know because Tea with Tamara was like nasty last week. It all comes down to the fact that last week, everything in my life seemed to go into a crux, into a state where I feel like I was losing everything. You know, who was I in my business? What was my mission? What was my destination? I was inflamed all the time. I just wanted to poop. I was constipated. Everything was uncomfortable. And there were about 150 million times last week, you guys, where I thought I should just give up. I should just start drinking again. Right? I should just eat the shitty food. I should just, not put all this time and effort into building my legacy for my kids. I should not do all of these kinds of things. And the thing is that we always get to the peak of our discomfort right before we reach greatness. Why is it not coming on? Is it not, the video not working? Add. I don't know. I don't know why the video won't play, Lydia. That makes me sad. But the most important thing, guys, is to realize that in order to expand into the next version of ourselves, to become or to get through the discomfort, we do this because, like I say, that my current self has to be mourned and die in order to expand into the next level. Because it's, imagine that you have this beautiful bubble, this light of shining aura awesome around you. Right? And it sits right here, just above where you currently are. And you want to be that person. And you want to feel that good. And you want to have that poop. That's just my story, right? There has to be a part that you have to realize it feels like everything gets really difficult for a moment. Everything feels like it's pushing and resisting against you. And you will want to say, fuck it. But it's that moment right there. That is the cue, the piece, the moral of the story, the climax, all of these amazing things. That if you can stay with it past that total peak of discomfort, you break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. And that's where we flourish, we grow, we find that gold, we have that moment, we get to this space of creation and relaxation and ease and flow. But it doesn't come unless we push. It doesn't come unless there's resistance. It doesn't come unless you have to give a little bit more. And my little bit more last week was not giving up. It was a little bit more of saying, I can do this. I only did these things because I was bored. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not perfect by any means because I was going to go no fats, no sugars, no alcohol. But this honey's been eating some sugar. And I've been eating the sugar because it's okay for me. Because I'm like, you know what? I gave up alcohol. I gave up fats. I've done 6 spin classes. I've done over 1,000 of all these crazy exercises I'm doing. So if I want to celebrate the best day I've ever had in my business or the fact that I'm an award-winning author now, I'm going to have a latte at Starbucks and feel zero guilt about it. But I've got to tell you, just by pushing that little envelope, that little extra, that little more last week when I wanted to give up and I wanted to go back into my behaviors and into my habits and the things that were just easy, because it's easy. I can tell you right now, I have never been in a better state in my physical body for 5 years. 5 years! I have never felt this good. I have never had consistent, solid bowel movements. Sorry, too much information. Tamara strikes again. But it's such a gift. And last week I didn't see it. I couldn't find it. I didn't think it was ever going to happen. But I stayed with it. I fought past the resistance, through the discomfort, to the other side. Just like the man at the beginning. If he had just stayed one more scoop into the earth, he would have found the gold. So what is it today, my beautiful friends? What is it today that you're going to put that little bit more in? That makes you uncomfortable, that raises your shackles and says, ah! Maybe makes you want to throw up a little, or maybe it feels like you just don't want to do it, or you just feel like it's too much. And I'm not talking burnout shit here, right? I'm talking the things that you know on the other side is going to be the next bubble of your awesome self. What is it that you can push a little bit more with today and not give up on and not walk away from that digger right before gold? Think about it. Because that's what I say go for today. Do it. Because I'm telling you, on the other side is the next beautiful moment of your life. And that is Tea with Tamara on this fabulous Christmas decorating day week. This, as an energy worker, you guys, this time of year is the most magical for me for a very particular reason, because everybody feels joy. And that was my tone for today, actually. I always write a word for the day, and then I walk into that word. It's like you set a tone. Why not, right? Why not put an energy out into your day and then walk into it and go today's going to be so much joy. Can't see all the comments here. Yay, dear, I'm so glad you got my book yesterday, right? But this time of year is the most joyous time. And everything feels light and airy and breezy and happy and joy and love. And all this energy gets lifted and lifted and lifted. And I walk around and I'm like, ah, la, 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 because I just feel everybody's happiness. And it makes me so happy. So on that note, freaking love you guys. I think you're all magical beings of light. And that you are meant to shine your stardust out into the world. And if you don't know what that stardust is, please let's chat, because my stardust is helping you find your stardust. And I want to have everybody's light shining so the world's vibration goes through the roof and we can heal it with just being pure love all the time, sending love. Yes. Care Bear stare. I freaking love you. Have magical times, magical days. Love, love, love. Bye.